It's mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and I am ready to answer all of your questions. So use hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get them in, and let's go. Santos Moreno Fields is learning a whole new offense. Let's see how he does his second year in the same system with some more weapons in 23. Continuity is key. I think that's also a good point. Now, I will say, I think it's a long shot, but I do think there is a scenario where if Fields is just a disaster this year, and I'm talking like he's thrown for 189 yards through 2 games. Like, if he's thrown for 100 yards a game for the rest of the year, like, then you have to consider going to draft the quarterback. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. That would be historically bad, but you would have to consider it. But I'm with you. You got a ton of money next year. You know why you shouldn't give up on Justin Fields? Look at Tua and Jalen Hurts in year 3 early on this year. It's early on, couple games in. Tua gets Tarik Hill, a second year of Jalen Waddle, and an improved offensive line, and Mike McDaniel as a play caller. We're hoping Luke Getsy can have this impact. And he takes off. He throws 6 touchdowns the other day. We thought Tua was terrible, right? Looks pretty good. Jalen Hurts, and I keep making the Eagles analogy that the Bears could be like the Eagles this year where Fields slowly improves throughout the season, and then next year, potentially he takes off. Hurts looks damn good. He looks damn good in year 3 in the NFL. So I don't think this year is the end-all, be-all, but if he is a disaster, a complete disaster, which those guys were not, they had their moments, that could change things. But in most scenarios I've played out in my head, I'm giving Fields through 2023. If he's bad next year, then, he's had his time. Sangray Kim, trade Buston plus Roquan now while they're still valuable. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't know. What are you going to get back for Fields right now? Second-round pick? I don't think it'd be a first. Roquan, second-round pick, third-round pick? I don't know. I don't think trading either at this exact moment makes sense. Sir Fly, I think we should trade for Darius Slayton and try to bring in Henry Ruggs too, and that could help us at receiver. How do I say this? Henry Ruggs is unplayable. For one, he's under house arrest, and he's awaiting trial for voluntary manslaughter. I can't remember the exact charge, but we know what happened. He drove drunk, 150 miles an hour, and killed someone. So he's probably going to jail at some point. Darius Slayton, 7th-round pick, okay, sure, but I don't think he's going to make a huge impact on this team. Billy Bob is Billy back. Our wide receivers aren't getting it done. Who could we sign? Here are a few guys that come to mind. By the way, Cole Beasley signed with the Bucs practice squad on Tuesday. But here are some names. Will Fuller, still out there. T.Y. Hilton, still available. A connection to Matt Eberflus. Odell Beckham Jr., he's getting more and more healthy. I don't think he'll sign with the Bears. I think he'll sign with a more veteran team, but he is a free agent. D.D. Westbrook, Deshaun Jackson. D-Jack is like 36 now. Westbrook's bounced around for a reason. It's kind of thinned out. Emmanuel Sanders retired. Chris Conley's out there. It's not a great list. Not a great list. So Will Fuller, T.Y. Hilton, those are kind of the 2 guys you're looking at, in my opinion. Name a wide receiver that you think the Bears should go out and sign. I want to know down in the comments right now. Who would you like to see the Bears sign at wide receiver? Got a super chat from Robert. Appreciate it. If our OC is still calling a bad offense halfway into the season, should the Bears pull Getsy's play calling ability? I mean, who are you going to give it to? Andrew Janocko, the quarterback's coach, I guess. I don't see a scenario where that happens because the reason you were able to do that the last couple years is Nagy was the head coach and the play caller, but he also had an offensive coordinator. Eberflus is a defensive guy. It's not like he can take over play calling. So Janocko would have to be that guy, and I don't think that's the route you're going to go. I don't think it makes sense. Getsy and Fields are going to get this entire season together to see how this goes. We're 2 games in. Let's give it more time. The running game's working. Got to get the passing game going. Al Melendez, another super chat. You are the man. Rough loss to the Packers, but let's keep the positivity going. I am going to my first ever Bears game this Sunday. Can I get a bear down? Bear down for Alan in the chat. That's awesome, Alan. Soldier Field should be a good time. Listen, you're right. This team's 1-1. Are there flaws? Are there problems? Are there things to work on? Absolutely. That would be true if you were 2-0, though. You beat the Niners, lost to the Packers. If I told you, Alan, or anyone else watching today, that the Bears would beat the Niners and lose to the Packers through week 2, they'd be 1-1, Would you not take it? I would have taken it every single time. That's a tough 2-game stretch to start the season. They stole one. They got one. Take it. 1-1. Let's see how this goes. Got it. The results, the winning and losing is not the full picture, though. I agree, like, the offense has got to be better. Fields has got to be better. But at least you're 1-1. This is not panic mode. This is not panic mode. Zachary Osborne, what do you think about our secondary versus the Packers? Some good, some bad. I mean, Rodgers was efficient, 19 of 25, but he didn't go off, only hit the one deep ball late in the game to Watkins. And, the team was deflated a bit by then. That was after the controversial non-touchdown on the Fields run up the middle on the shotgun play, which still hate that call, by the way. But you hit the deep ball and, the field goal puts the game away for Green Bay. Obviously, Kyler Gordon got picked on. He's got to improve, but he's a rookie. Eberflus talked about, hey, you got to have adversity, you got to bounce back. Eddie Jackson wasn't as good this week, but I don't think it was a disaster. I'll tell you what, Jalen Johnson's good. Teams aren't throwing at him. If Gordon improves, that'll really impact things because teams are scared to throw at Jalen Johnson right now, and that's a good thing. So mixed bag, Zachary, but I still like the potential. I like Brisker's upside. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, still not high on Vilder, but it's not going to be perfect. BetUS is the place to go. If you want to bet on Bears games all season long, you can do so by going to chatsports.com/Bears. That is the link to go to create an account, and then use promo code BEARDOWN. That is BEARDOWN, all one word, to get a 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100. You will get $125 for free. Betting odds for this week's matchup: Bears 2.5-point favorites. The over/under between Bears and Texans at 40.5. Home favorite, got to win this game. The return of Lovie Smith. Let's go. Make it happen. Chatsports.com/Bears. Go make some money. Start an account today. Promo code is BEARDOWN. Change the channel name to Bears Fantasy World from Larry. Larry, I hopped on the show on Monday and said, 3 out of 4 smoking Jays, I'm concerned about Fields and the offense. I'm concerned, but I'm not going to panic after 2 games. What do you want me to do, Larry? I think you should start your own channel and say pessimistic Bears fan. That's what I think. Things aren't great, but they're not disastrous. They aren't. We're 2 games into this. We're 2 games in. If you lose to the Texans and Giants, yeah, we'll revisit, especially if the offense is ugly. But right now, I'm not going to sit here and just say, yeah, if I was living in fantasy land, I would say, yeah, the Bears are going to win the NFC North. It's not the case. I've never said that. Don Burr, Bustin Fields equals Terrelle Pryor. Ohio State finest, go blue. I remember Terrelle Pryor. He was not a great NFL quarterback. He switched to wide receiver, actually. And I don't think Fields is going to do that. Thanks for your money, Donnie. Nicholas Rishi, A-Rod says it takes 3 years to learn the system. You think Fields is going to master it in 2 games? We've got to be realistic. Yeah, I mean, look, we don't have 3 years. I'll tell you that. But maybe he means to, master the offense, right? This takes time. No quarterback goes into a brand new system and locks it down in 2 games. Now, I do have some concerns. I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't. I feel like I'm being really fair, guys. I'm being critical while also saying this is early on. If I was living in a fantasy world, I'd say, 2 regular season games mean nothing. They have no value whatsoever. Nope, they have value. You can't go up into Green Bay and throw for 70 yards. It's not good enough. Got to be better. AGM Productions, do you think Velus Jones can be the Tarik Cohen of the offense? Somewhat. I mean, he's going to be more of a receiver than Tarik Cohen was. He's 6 foot, 220. I think he'll be more than a gadget guy, which is kind of what Cohen was. But, yeah, I think you can do those type of things, quick passes, screen game, jet sweeps, get him the ball in space with speed. We just got to see him be healthy for an extended period of time. Hopefully it happens soon. Who's your favorite Bear of all time? I want to know. Favorite all-time Bear. Let's go. Let me know down in the comments. I'll be reading them. Favorite Bear ever? For me, Devin Hester. Got time for a few more. The Gabe, what is your record now if the Bears are 1-1? Well, on my record prediction video, I said 9-8, mostly because of the schedule being manageable, and I said they would beat the 49ers and lose to the Packers. So far, that's what we're doing. I'll stick to that 8-9 win range for now, with the caveat that the offense has to improve, but I'm 2-0 on my predictions in terms of before the season. I last week predicted them to beat the Packers. I bit the cheese, and I fell for it. That was a mistake. Logic said the Packers. I did not make my pick based on logic. I will admit that. But I've been critical. They're 1-1. I think you're in an okay spot right now. Santos Moreno in 23. Ideally, I'd go after Quenton Nelson, Orlando Brown Jr., reinforce the defensive line secondary, and draft a receiver in the first round. I don't think Orlando Brown's going to be available at left tackle. Not sure about Quenton Nelson. If the Colts fall apart this year and stink, they haven't looked good early, maybe Nelson it becomes available. I'm not sure. I highly doubt the Colts would want to let him loose. D-line needs some help up the middle. There's no doubt. I think they have some decent role players there, but there's a reason they offer money at Larry Ogunjobi. There's a reason. I'm still optimistic about this secondary. Probably another corner, but I think safety and Jalen Johnson looks pretty good. Hopefully Kyler Gordon comes around here. Hashtag Bears or Super Chat to get your questions on the show. We will get a couple more on here on Chicago Bears now. Sangray Kim, we thought Mitch would be better with more years in Nagy's offense. Stop fantasizing that more learning will solve his ineptitude. He's just untalented. See, that you've got it backwards. He's definitely talented. Now, he may not be good enough to be an NFL quarterback. Maybe time will tell that. He is so much more talented than Mitch, it's not even funny. Much better arm talent, more mobile, better runner, better mechanics throwing the football. I think he's smarter, too. I think when you hear him talk and explain why a play didn't work or why a play did, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Mitch couldn't break down plays like that. You'd ask him a question, why didn't this play work? We just got to execute better. Fields, he'll actually say why it did or didn't work. Now, maybe he doesn't process quick enough after the snap. That was a problem for Mitch. That's been problematic for Justin at times, and he's got to get better at it. But the talent is there. He may not be good enough. There's been plenty of talented guys that haven't been good enough, because there's more than talent that goes into playing quarterback at a high level in the NFL, but it's not a talent issue. And the whole Nagy thing, he had years in Nagy's system. Fields has had 2 games with Getsy. 2. Got to give it more time. Vengeance, Khalil Mack will be a beast in a 4-3. Makes me mad. I mean, guys, this year was never going to be a go win 13 games year. That's why they traded him. Future assets. You got Jaquan Brisker with the second-round pick. You know, I'm not saying Brisker will have as good of a career as Mack, but you got a piece that's going to help you win moving forward. It's not bad. It's not bad. Mack had some injuries. He's doing great with the Chargers. He should be on a win-now team. That wasn't going to be the Bears. Again, the Bears might be a sneaky, fringe playoff team, but the Chargers at least have a chance to do something in the playoffs. Relentless Mikey, I think the gang is a bit down on Justin Fields because, let's be honest, we don't have a great history of quarterbacks, but Fields deserves some time. Yeah, look, I totally understand here we go again. I get it. This franchise has been cursed when it comes to quarterbacks, but I still think Fields is the most talented one they've had in a while. Doesn't mean it's going to work. He's way more talented than Mitch, guys. He is. Every expert will tell you that. Again, it's not a guarantee, but maybe you've got to give this more time. But I understand it because this team has not been able to figure out quarterback for whatever reason. Appreciate all the super chats today. Torian Winfield, I'm all for constructive criticism, but some of the things coming from so-called Bear fans and some of the media regarding Fields is disgusting. I don't know if I'd use the word disgusting. I haven't seen anything that would say disgusting, but I would say the lack of patience is frustrating. What, you want to go draft Bryce Young and you expect him to be a star by week 4 next year? I mean, it's kind of what you're saying. Sure, you can do that. And again, if this year is a disaster, I'm talking he's last near the bottom in all categories for starting quarterbacks, yeah, you have got to consider drafting a quarterback. You do. But we're not there yet. Not even close. We got 15 games to play. Let's see what he does. Appreciate all the super chats today. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. If we didn't get to your question, we will answer them there at HGramNFL, at HGramNFL. We'll get to this last super chat here in this mailbag, so appreciate that. But if we don't get to your questions, at HGramNFL on Twitter and Instagram. All right, Skittles, you get the final word. Why are we not talking about Kyler Gordon? He was targeted all game. The rookie got burnt. Please replace him. We did talk about him a minute ago. Someone mentioned it. But also, Skittles, he's played 2 games too. Also, who are you putting in? Jalen Jones? You don't have anyone to replace him with. You got to let the kid play. Yeah, he's probably going to struggle. He's struggled through 2 games so far. Got to learn on the fly. Only way you're going to learn, get better is by playing. Kendall Vilder ain't going to – you play him more, that's not the answer. Got to play Kyler Gordon.